When you're creating parts in Autodesk Inventor, you can place the types of dimensions in the sketch that you will use when you do your final drawings later on. In this video, we're going to look at how to sketch so that you can capture linear diameters as shown in the image here. Welcome back to Practical AutoCAD and Inventor, your source for practical solutions to your problems with AutoCAD and Autodesk Inventor. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe so you will be notified whenever new videos are published. Also, if you have any questions you would like me to answer, please leave a comment below. Now, on with the video. One of the strengths of Autodesk Inventor is the ability to capture design intent even in the sketches that you create. In this video, we're going to show how to create a sketch that shows linear diameters so that when you create a revolution and then later on the drawing, as I have shown here, you can simply bring those linear diameters out of the sketch and into the drawing. Notice that I've got a front view here, which is the circular view. I also have a side view shown in section, which we will be demonstrating later on in this course. To begin with, we will want to start our sketch on the side view as shown here. If I switch to Inventor, you'll see this is the final project. It has the outside diameter here is going to be 6. It has a hole that goes through with a diameter of 3/4 and the web and so on, your inside hub and your outside flange. Okay, so I'm going to start a new sketch, or a new part that is. And when I start my sketch, I want to begin my sketch on the side view, okay, on this YZ plane. I don't want to start on the XY plane. That's the plane where I want to have my circular view. So I'm going to start over here on the YZ plane, and we're ready to go. Now, when you want to create a sketch for a revolution, the first thing you want to do is to project your axis of revolution as a center line. In this case, I want the axis of revolution to be the z-axis. If you notice on the gizmo down here, the z-axis is the horizontal line. So I want to project this horizontal line as a center line. To do so, go to the origin and expand it. Notice that the z-axis is part of the origin geometry. Then move over to the Format panel and click on the Centerline tool. Then what I can do is I can go to the Project Geometry tool, click, and then move back to the z-axis and click. It projects the z-axis as a center line. There's no need to dimension this axis because the program knows that the center line, or that the z-axis, is an infinite line that extends in both directions forever. From here, you'll want to turn off that Centerline tool so that you can start to sketch. And now what you can do is simply sketch just as you normally would, showing that you want to get your geometry approximately the right size and shape. So I'll just use the line tool, and I'm going to sketch the outline of this object. So let me come up here and get it approximately where I want it to be. And I'm going to make it, it's going to be a little bit too small, but I'll grip stretch it and make it the right size in a few minutes. As I am sketching, I want to make sure that I infer some constraints. Notice that I'm hesitating here just for a moment so that you can see that it's inferring that I want this point and this point to be horizontal, or actually they'll be collinear. Same thing down here. It's going to infer that I want those to be collinear, and by doing so, by making sure that those are all in there, when I come in here now and move this one, notice that the other one moves along with it. So I can come in and I can make sure that I get this, again, approximately the right size and shape. Next, I want to continue with my geometric constructions. I'm going to use the center point down here to center this. So I'm going to add a constraint between the center point right here and the midpoint of this line. Now, even though on the screen those are in a vertical relationship, I need to apply a horizontal constraint. And the reason it's horizontal is because, again, if we look at our gizmo, the z-axis, which is vertical, is this horizontal line. So I'm going to put a horizontal constraint between the midpoint of this line here and the start point there. I also need to apply a couple of equal constraints so that everything is centered up. So I'll add those in. And now this sketch is actually pretty stable and very predictable on what's going to happen. So once you get it about this point, then you can go ahead and start putting in your dimensions. Now this is where we put in our linear dimensions. Because this is a center line, Inventor's automatically going to know that I want a linear dimension, a linear diameter when I put in a dimension to it. So for example, starting with my largest, I know from the outside here to there, I want it to have a diameter of 6. Notice that it's giving me the diameter and it's showing a dimension down to something that doesn't exist down here. I can say, okay, I want that to be 6, enter. Okay. And again, I like to start with the largest dimensions and work to the smallest dimensions. So I'm going to do that and here as well. This is going to be 1.5. This one will be 1.25 from there to there. We've got a 3/4 inch diameter hole through the middle. And the hub has an outside diameter of 2. And then finally, my web has a thickness of 1/4. So you can see now that everything is completely constrained. Notice in the lower right-hand corner, it says that the sketch is completely constrained. And I have indeed placed these linear diameters, which are now going to be able to be extracted later on when we want to create our drawing. At this point, you can finish your sketch. Now, when you want to create your revolution, because I have one profile and one center line, when I choose my Revolve tool, it automatically recognizes that I want to create a revolution, and I can simply choose OK to finish this part.